I think everybody took a break. But let me go through the agenda as we wait for any more. Hello.
Recording in progress.
Sierra.
Good evening.
Good evening. All right, so I have 3 of you guys. So I'm going to go through the agenda and hoping the other people will jump in. We have 3 members of the Board of Elections, sorry, wrong meeting. Scholarship Committee. We also have here Melissa, who is from the staff, and we also have Jared, who's like working a computer system from Rainier TV. Okay. So I'm gonna go through agenda while we wait for the others to join, and as they join, they could add. So this is gonna be the orientation. We decided to do the orientation until some of you guys are coming back because we want to make sure we're all on the same page and we're all aware of what's coming or what it looks like. And if you guys have any questions, give you guys a chance to have a question. And so we're gonna start very quickly with introductions, followed by the calendar and the schedule. We're gonna show you guys what the selected schools are, the do's and the don'ts, the conflict of interest forms. And if you guys have any questions, if you have any questions about any of the items that were presented, you can ask them. And once they're presented, you don't have to wait till the end. 1 and 2, we'll be emailing all these documents to you guys after the meeting. Okay, so that way you have them, and the advice basically is put this information in your calendar so you're aware. Usually we do orientation. The city takes care of everything. And right before May, around April, we will reach out to you guys and say, hey, remember that you have those 2 weeks that you have to keep a little bit open for you guys to book, because depending how many applications we have, we might either have 1 night of nonstop interviews, and it's like a 2-hour thing, right? Or 2 different nights to cover everybody that applies. And you guys usually select what the days are in Unity. Okay, so it's a very short agenda, and we'll let you guys go on your way after. Hi, Jasmine, how are you? All right, so there's 4 of you guys already. Okay, so we're gonna go around the room. I'm gonna start with, so just tell us your name, if you've been here in the scholarship committee before, and anything else, and anything interesting you need us to know. All right, Genesis, I'm starting with you.
Okay, I'll just put my video so you guys can see my face really quick. Hi, everyone. My name is Genesis. This is my 4th year, I think, on the committee, but one as 1 year as an applicant, and then 3 years, I think, being on the committee, if I'm not mistaken. And then interesting, I don't really know, but I'm open to questions if you have any.
You're like, no problem. I think it's 4, it might be 4 and 1, because this is the 5th year, Genesis, of the scholarship.
Oh, okay, then you're right.
So I know it's been a while. All right, followed by Joe Mary. Joe?
Okay, let's see. Joe Marie, everyone calls me Joe. This is going to be my 3rd year on the panel. And something interesting about me is apparently I don't know how to mute my mic, even though we've been doing this for 3 years now. And so you guys can hear embarrassing videos that I'm watching for everyone to hear. If you relate, I don't know how to mute myself. That's me.
All right, perfect. Followed by Sierra. I think I'm calling you by your last name. Is it Sigmone your first name?
Sierra's my first name.
Okay, perfect, because I'm just reading off the screen. Go ahead.
It's okay. My name is Sierra. This is my 1st year on the committee. I guess the interesting fact is that I bake.
So you'll have cookie available for us in the next in-face person meeting?
Yes, yes, cookies, cupcakes, bread, donuts.
That is so exciting. I'm like,
You're very dangerous, Sierra.
no, that's definitely a secret talent right there. Good to know. Not secret anymore. All right. Jasmine, go ahead.
Hello. It's my first year. That's about it.
Jess is like, I'm still thinking about my item. All right, perfect. So there's only one person missing, and that's David. Melissa, you're on screen, right? So this is Melissa. She's our city clerk. Melissa, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa, and as Mayor just mentioned, I'm the city clerk and I'm the liaison to the youth scholarship committee. So you'll hear a lot from me, or a lot of emails you'll get from me.
Yeah, and if you can tell in the back, you might not be able to tell. That's like all the events and activities the city plans for 1 year right behind Melissa. So we plan 2 years ahead of time in order to make the information more accessible. All right, perfect. And Jared, can you go on screen, please? So they can recognize you as well. Where are you, Jared? Okay. Oh, you don't. Okay. So that's Jared. You'll see him around, either taking photos, pictures. So sometimes him or Pink will alternate. So either one or the other is usually in the MRTV tagline. All right. And I'll show you me because I'm also like, it's been a long day. Hi, everyone. So thank you guys for being here. The only one that's missing, like I mentioned, is David. And I'm not sure where he's at, but we'll get a hold of him. Okay, so for some of you guys that have been this, thank you for entertaining the orientation. I know you guys have been through it. Last year, we didn't do one mainly because we decided to have the whole team come back. Usually it's a 1-year term. And we decided to do one as elections and everything was going by. We just felt like just keep the team together because I was elected mayor, so my position was open. Jimmy, I was appointed, and then Scott left, and then Valerie got into an election. So it was a lot of things for us to try to get it. So we felt like that was the best thing to do to keep some consistency. All right. So we're going to move on to the next item, which is the calendar. And this is something you must have seen also when it came to when you guys got sworn in. So move it all the way up, Melissa. Basically, it tells you. So this calendar right here is also what the youth get when they apply, so they know the dates. So December 5th is when the information is going to be sent to the school between the 5th and the 9th. On the 12th, all application package, including the 500-word essay, need to be at City Hall by 5 p.m. and they could be turned in by in person or via email to the clerk, to Melissa. Right. So in the past, we have taken quite a few of them, like I think except for one, everything else came in like on, electronically. So between the 15th and the 31st, that's when you guys will meet and interview all the candidates. So our job in the background basically is, once the person turns in the package, review that everything is where it needs to be. And then Melissa will compile all of them and then email you guys the package so you could review. We obviously ask for any document that is given to you for you to keep it confidential, because we want to make sure we give everybody a fair shot. And at the same time, it allows you for you to review it and we don't violate Open Meetings Act, right? So you guys will come together. We will send an email saying, hey, what days do you guys want to work on the interviews? You guys agree on 2 days or as many days. The most we have needed is 2 days, right? And then from there on, Melissa will arrange the interviews, and she'll give you a list of who's going to interview at what time. So that way you guys know you guys work together before the meeting to come up with questions. So that way you guys ask the same questions to the candidates. So that way it's more of like a fair system. So you might not hear from us until like April. Right. So we try to do all the extra work beyond that. So something you do need to know, let me see, then on June 2nd, that's when you guys made the recommendation. And we, by the 31st, by the 2nd, we let the parents and guardians know in the scholarship recipient that they have been selected, and they keep it they don't tell anyone until June 6th, when we formally submit them to mayor and council. So that way we usually have a small reception. In order to come, you guys are welcome to join us as well for that reception. All right, does anybody has a question regarding the schedule? I'm hearing silence, so I'm assuming no. The other thing for you to note is that after you guys got started in back in, so back in June, Melissa did send out an email to the schools to let them know, like, to save the date, the application was going to be reaching them on between December 5th and December 9th. And this week, we're also going to send another reminder the application is coming in December. So that way they're on the lookout for our scholarship application. Okay. So this is what I have for the schedule. All right, move on to the next one. So this is a list of the college, university, and high schools where we send the applications to. The Prince George's Community College, the University of Maryland. Oh, Melissa, a lot bigger. There you go, thank you. The University of Maryland Global Campus, Bowie State, Capital Technology University, Lancaster Bible College, Forest College, American University. Move up, and for the high schools, we have Northwestern, Elizabeth, St. Anne's, the Martha, Bladensburg, High Point, and Parkville. And for trade schools, we have the Carlos Rosario International Public Charter School. They all receive the save the date, and they all receive the application information, the flyer, how to reach us in order for their students to apply. So if there's any other college, university, high school, trade school that you do not see in the list, let us know. Melissa, by when is it that you need to know?
By November 18th.
By November 18th, she's going to send that day also for the package, so that way we have enough time to figure out who the contact is and submit the application to them. Okay. All right, next line. Anything that has to do with the schools that were sent at this moment? Okay. I don't hear anything. All right. All right, so the next one is the conflict of interest policy. You guys will get this copy. We need you guys to sign it and send it our way. And it's to be completed by each of you guys, and I'll read through it so that way it's on the record that I read it. Hold on. So to be completed by each individual who reviews scholarship applications and submitted to the committee chair prior to receiving or reviewing scholarship applications. A conflict of interest occurs when an action of the committee member results in direct financial benefit from a person closely affiliated with the individual. A conflict of interest also occurs if a committee member exerts influence to select a recipient without considering objective criteria for the scholarship. Committee members should avoid any situation where personal and business relations could have, or given the appearance of having, influence on the members' judgment in the matter under consideration. In the events of a conflict of interest or potential conflict of interest, the committee members should disclose the conflict to the chair of the committee and may not participate in any way in review of the applications. The members should not influence the discussion or decision-making process where there is a potential conflict of interest. There you go. As a member of the scholarship committee, I affirm that I understand that committee members are not allowed to contact applicants directly concerning any matter related to the scholarship application or award. The review and decision to award scholarships will be based on objective criteria reasonably related to the purpose of the scholarship. The scholarship application will be distributed to a broad class of eligible individuals, and no individual has been promised a scholarship award in advance. I would not recommend that any scholarship be awarded to a student that is my employee or family member. I understand the conflict of interest policies set forth above and agree thereby. And then you print it and you sign it and you date it. So I will say to you, if you have somebody that works for you, a family member that is that will be applying to the scholarship committee, we definitely ask you let us know, and ideally recruit yourself so we could get somebody else in the committee. So that way it's a fair all around for all of us. Something you have to be aware that family members and staff, American Council staff members are not eligible for this application. And Melissa and I also don't vote in this process. I vote eventually, right? But do not vote in any of this process of the recommendation. Our job is to guide you through, and if you guys have questions, make it accessible. Last year we had an incident, and that's the reason why this conflict of interest policy got set, and it was mainly a committee member decided singly to cancel appointments when they're not supposed to do that, and also going to the school and speaking behalf of the committee when it wasn't also authorized. If you guys have any questions or concerns, reach out to us. We'll reach out to them, so that way it is a fair system. Does this mean that if you know somebody in the neighborhood that that's looking for a scholarship, you can always direct them? But that's basically what your job is, to direct them where it's at. And I know the scholarship says that it was introduced by me as mayor. It was introduced to me as a council member, and then I became mayor. So that's the reason why it's the 5th year of the scholarship. All right. Anybody has a question about the conflict of interest policy? Ma'am, you guys are like, no, let's go.
We're all good, all good. Sounds good.
Thank you, Jo Mary. All right, perfect. All right, moving on to the next one. All right, the do's and don'ts. You have a document?
No, Mayor.
All right. So do you guys have any questions about the do's and don'ts? I did express to you, I know some of you guys were here last year when it happened. It created a lot of conflict, right? So the form is very basic, that it tells you you're not to be in contact with any of the scholarship recipients or applicants, and you have to be fair in the process. So no canceling appointments, no going to school, speak on behalf of the committee. None of that. People know you are the committee members because you have been sworn into an open meeting. People know the scholarship application because it's been approved basically since 2019, somewhere around there. And that's it. So do you guys have any other questions? So take it as think about if you were in HR, somebody was applying to your job, right? You don't sit there and make calls to you do not make the calls to the scholars will be able to turn into 2 forms of recommendation. We usually open them and put them in your package, but you're not to reach the recommendations neither. If there's a question about recommendation, then we will handle it on our end, so that way and bring the report back to you guys. Okay. Anything you guys want to add from past experience, if you've been the scholarship committee or any other committee? All right, none. The other thing to add is Melissa's going to be sending you a link, and we need you guys to go ahead and apply, so that way we update our records. The link is on the city website, and just follow the link and fill up the information, usually contact information, how to reach you, emergency contacts and stuff like that. So that way we have it in our files, right? Papa? All right. So other than that, Melissa, did I cover everything?
Choose a chairperson between themselves.
You guys get to choose a chairperson between you guys. In the past, it's been interesting enough. There hasn't been no chair, so basically we have worked with the team collectively, which is interesting on its own. But you guys could choose a chair. So that way, that's the person that we are also working in connection with. And aside from this meeting, like I mentioned, you probably won't receive any more communication from us until maybe around April. So you could go with your merry lives and happily ever after it, and then do the interviews. But do any of you guys want to be the chair or care to appoint a chair?
Is it something that has to happen, or? 'Cause I know that came up like last time, but it was like, I feel like it wasn't, and Genesis was on, or sorry, she was on it like last time, but it was like, not super duper necessary, but I don't know.
It's
I
not that,
think-
go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, I think if we want to, we could, but I think that we would work fine together collectively. I don't really see any reason not to work collectively. But if the majority wants to choose a chairperson, then that's totally fine with me.
You guys can make that decision. My job is to put it out there for you guys. If you collectively decide that, you guys are going to work collectively, not have a chair, that's fine as well. And the only addition we'll have to make is that, if there's a conflict of interest, just share with it collectively with the group. This shouldn't be a national secret, right? But that's what I say. Like, if you already know you have a child that's going to apply for this scholarship, or a staff member that's going to, one of your, that's going to apply for it, that you cannot be, that you cannot, like you're going to have a conflict of interest. That's what I said from the beginning. If you remove yourself from there, it will avoid a lot of problems, because that's something that we definitely ask the council to talk to their appointee. So that way, we wouldn't be like down to hour 22 and you're like, oh, my daughter's going to be applying, and you have every right to do that, but definitely like remove yourself from the committee. So that way, it's no conflict of interest. Okay. And then, what we'll do is like, if you guys, majority, if you guys choose not to have a chair, basically me and Melissa work on anything that's the background, right? So something that you guys haven't asked is about the question. Usually I come up with the question, and it's top secret until the application goes out. So that's something I've been doing, right? But so I heard from Joe Mary, from Hennessy's, Jasmine and Sierra, where you guys at? It could be whatever you guys decide. We just need to like note it down that you guys decide that collectively you guys are gonna work and you guys don't want a chair.
I think we can work cohesively, but if people want to chair, I'm not impartial to that either.
All right, perfect. Jasmine?
I'm good. Excuse me. I'm good either way.
All right, perfect. So is it a fair statement to say you guys will not have a chair, just collectively be working on it?
I think that's fair to say.
Yes.
Okay,
I would
so
also,
go ahead.
sorry, Mayor, I would also like to point out, since it sounds like we're going forward with no chair, that if we have any questions regarding the process, that we of course go to Mayor and Melissa if we have any questions about the process, or to like other of our committee members too. We may be able to answer each other's questions, so that we know that they're always available.
Yes, we're definitely available if you need anything. And the way it works, because it's like city funds being used, if there's a meeting that needs to set up, you will just reach out to us so that we could set up the meeting. So that way, it is within the Opens Act ruling, and then we'll set it up. Work to create the agenda, right? And you guys, we'll work with consensus with you guys so that the agenda is created. For the most part, I think only one time happened, and that was one of the concerns, because we're like, we cannot have a meeting when it's not open now, because we need to at least announce it, right? Especially if it's like certain things, so at least like make the city aware. So I will say this: I will need a motion from you guys, because you guys are appointed elected, and we have to take it for a vote. Okay, so the motion, it could easily be like, as a committee, we have decided to work collectively and not have a chair, and then somebody seconds it, and then we call for a vote. So this is where the chair comes in handy, but I have no problem helping you get there. Okay, so can somebody make the motion?
I can make the motion.
Go ahead.
Okay, I, committee member Genesis Romero, motion that we as a committee collectively go forward with no committee chair.
Okay, I will need a second.
Second it.
It's been properly moved in second. The next step is the discussion aspect of it. And if nobody has discussion, we move forward with the vote. Okay? So any objections? Abstentions? Okay, so since there was no abstention, this is that the motion passes 400. Okay, Melissa, go ahead and note it, and I'll help you guys with the whole language for the meetings, to open them and stuff, and it should be fine. All right. All right, Melissa. Okay, so moving on to the next item, I need to know if you guys have any questions about anything that was talked about today, any concerns, any thoughts, any feelings before we put this meeting to an end. And this one I will have to like verbally hear no. So it's on the record that you guys have no questions, no concerns or anything else.
No.
No.
No question.
No questions.
All right, perfect. So that was your orientation. Okay. We'll be sending this whole entire package to you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to something comes up and you're like, oh, I thought about something later. Feel free to send it out and we'll do our best to answer it or find any way we could get that answer for you. Okay. All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet everyone.
Nice to meet you as well.
Bye,
Have
everyone.
a good evening.
Recording stopped.
All right. Bye. Have a good night.
Bye.